All right, welcome everybody to the second episode of the ShyCast. Only like 3 months later after the first one, and today's guest is a fellow artist friend that I met a few months ago, uh, Plump Pine. Hello.
Howdy.
So, how are you today?
I'm pretty all right. Pretty nervous, pretty excited. I always seem to have a lot on my plate.
You don't need to be nervous there. I am just as nervous as you are. If we're gonna talk about nervous, no, screw
Yeah.
English words. So I guess we can talk about firstly what we're gonna draw. I will be drawing our waifus together with a cute idea I had in my head that for the summer they want to get those sweet curves that everyone wants. So they go to a place where they can get those curves, but probably not the curves they expected. So yeah, and his waifu is very determined and shoves food into Hifumi's mouth. And what are you gonna draw?
Uh, I'm gonna draw one of my favorite magical girl characters, Cure Peach, and she's just gonna be sitting on a bench with Shy is Osi and Michelle, and they're just gonna be stuffing themselves like pigs.
Basic fetish scenario that we all love.
Exactly.
Speaking of fetish scenarios, how did you get into fetishism, feederism, and in general just the softness that we love to draw and see?
I feel like I always had it a little, but I the first time I knew there was something off going on was when I was watching a show called Totally Spies, and there's this episode where one of the girls gets addicted to these Girl Scout cookies and gets really fat. I'm sure a lot of people know
Oh yeah, I forgot how it's.
passion patties.
Yeah, Passion Pay. I actually never saw that episode when I was smaller. I only found it out when I was searching for fetish or fatty stuff online back when I
Yeah.
first found out about my kink. Was that like the only reason, or was that just a confirmation that you were into it?
I would say the confirmation came from going on this website called Uncyclopedia, and there's this article about how to make a girl fatter. And for some reason, it was that made me go, I should just look into this stuff because my PP keeps getting hard whenever something involving girls getting fat is involved. And that eventually led me into just Googling fat anime girls, and the rest is history.
I think we all can remember that situation. Just going into Google and typing that and finding all those YouTube videos about collages from artists with no credit.
Yeah.
And a topic that you wanted to talk about, besides fat stuff, different kinks we have besides fat fetishism, feederism, and all that. And the main one that comes to mind, of course, for us both is slop.
Yeah.
So I guess what got you into slop, and what exactly do you like about it? What aspects do you like about it?
For sloppiness, it's like I discovered it just looking at fat stuff, and at first I hated it, but I don't know, just like a few years later, getting more and more accustomed to it, I just started more actively seek it out, and I liked it. And I think it may just come from the fact that uh, just the fact that I had really strict parents who wanted to make sure everything was clean, especially my dad. He'd go ape shit if he found like ants on the counter in the middle of summer. And just like the idea, just the release of it, the idea of letting yourself go and just doing all the things that I was told not to do. Just felt really powerful and sexy to me.
To be honest, that's actually a really interesting and cool reason why someone would like slop. For me, it was mainly uh, the greediness that the character would have. Like, just they want to get fatter. They don't care. They just want to stuff it all in them, no matter how much they let themselves go. All they care about is getting fatter and fatter. That's what was most appealing to me, and of course, over the years, that uh, uh I forgot the I forgot the English word. Um, and that kind of implemented itself more into everything, and I just love everything about it. What I'm gonna explain it in a bit, but first, what do you love about it?
Honestly, I want to say largely the same thing. Just a character wanting to get fatter at any cost.
And what aspects of sloppiness do you actually like? Like, not just why, but like the smaller aspects, like sweatiness, messiness, the lifestyle, whatever. Like the small things that just make slop.
Honestly, a bit of everything. This like a messiness of food and or letting themselves get messy with food and just burping and farting really loudly in public. Uh, it's all really hot to me. Just fucking thinking about it now, actually.
Do you have like a limit to slop, or do you in your fantasy go over and out and just the most extreme sloppy stuff that could happen to someone if they just get immensely fat?
Uh, so I'm gonna throw a bit of a wild card. There was a little while where I was into diapers and the messiness involved with that. So yeah, uh, it just really depends though, because like sometimes I get in a mood where I just would rather have clean fatties. I seen this guy comment on DeviantArt that they're pretty rudely exclaiming that they just want to see me draw more fatties and or slobby fatties or farting or something like that. And I was pretty annoyed, but I was also like, I really hadn't done that in a while. And it
Mm.
kind of made me want to go, what, maybe this will be a good time to do some more slob.
For me, it's with slop. Uh, I the thing I love the most about it is the lifestyle behind it. Just being lazy, letting yourself go, and just embracing that you can do that to yourself, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I totally get you.
So, and in that case, when I draw slop stuff, it's rarely, or it was rarely just. No, wait. Back then, when I drew slop stuff, it was mainly just draw the character and throw all the sloppiness onto them. But
Yeah.
right now, what I enjoy most is actually centering or making slop the main aspect of the drawing. Like with some of my Hifumi slop drawings, like you can see that she is just in a lazy position, looks lazy, she looks let go, or she looks like she let go everything that she cares about, like hygiene and weight and everything, and just trash everywhere. I really love the aspect of trash. It just shows how careless a slob gets.
Yeah.
And I do have to say that in fantasy, I barely have any limits with slob. Like, I do like the very, very extreme stuff sometimes when I'm in the right mood, but I rarely draw it, and if I draw it, it's mostly just private, so that I don't scare anyone away.
Hmm.
Do you
I
like,
I know what you're saying.
and do you like it in real life too, or is it just a fantasy thing?
Uh well, I do think the smell of BO is hot in certain contexts.
Come again?
I do think the smell of BO is hot in real life in certain contexts.
Define smell, like
Oh,
gas or
body odor, like if somebody
ah?
is smelling really sweaty and stuff. Sorry.
I hope we're not scaring anyone away in the chat. No, I really do get that, and to be honest, if I'm gonna be honest, I think it's actually really hard if you can actually smell them not caring anymore. That they just let themselves go, and you can smell that they haven't cared to shower in like weeks or anything.
The smell of not caring. Yeah. Yeah, I think you really do a good job at bringing the idea of that kind of stuff in your art.
I actually shied a bit away to detail body odor a lot because that when I drew those slop drawings, I was still in the mindset of caring more about my audience than myself, and that has changed over the past month. And I bet if I draw more slop nowadays, I would definitely draw more for my preference and not what my audience would like, because having that mindset of I want to draw what I love is, I think, more important than what your audience will love.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you giving me that exact advice, and because I was feeling a bit tired of doing slob all the time because I was getting a lot of slob requests. I actually kind of made me want to just like take a break from it for a bit.
Yeah, the request thing, I had that in the past when it was about blobs and stuff. When I also had commissions open, like I would draw blobs, and everyone would ask me to draw blobs like non-stop over and over, and it was really getting tiresome. I had no energy to draw blobs anymore because it was just over and over again.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big reason why um, I felt so turned off by commissions ever since that incident happened, because I felt like it would just repeat itself over and over. And I know that's wrong, but it's hard for me to grasp that there are so many that I can actually uh, decline commissions. I always felt bad to decline them.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't know. A really big part about doing commissions is just knowing when to say no.
Yeah, and that was my biggest problem. And I think because I do want to make this art thing my living someday, that I need to understand when I can say no and when I should just take the commission because I need it.
Yeah.
But it will take a few years before I get to that point, so I don't need to care about that yet. I will have to open commissions someday soon again, so that um I get a feeling for them, so that I don't spend months on a single sketch just because I didn't feel motivated.
Hmm.
So,
It happens.
yeah.
I don't know that. I think the one thing it keeps me going is just that I keep. One thing it keeps me going is just that I keep finding a reason to draw every day. Usually, I do it just as soon as I wake up early in the morning.
Yeah, I have. I did had a time where I did those daily sketches, but that motivation quickly drained as well because I felt like I wasn't using my full potential, and I felt like I was getting worse and worse. So I think I do need to somehow find a compromise between drawing a lot and drawing enough of a quality so that I can feel good about it myself. Right now, uh, in on weekdays, I do need to be a bit more careful, or not really careful, but I do need to draw less because my final exams of my apprenticeship are coming near, so I do need to slow down with drawing on weekdays.
Yeah, yeah, that's something I've been focusing on, struggling with because I have a day job where I deliver pizza, and I'm also trying to make a video game at the same time. And I can just burn myself out so much from work that every person that tries to talk to me just like gets me really angry, and I get super irritable and have a hard time thinking and stuff.
No, I get that. I know that feeling well. I need to
I hate it.
I need to
Because the
handle that because my social battery is not really that big. Like I get exhausted very quickly sometimes. Uh,
yeah.
about your game, we're gonna talk about that a little bit later. But firstly, what got you into art? That's another important question that we completely buried with all the slop.
Um, I was always into drawing, but I never really like tried to study art. I just thought that because I did like little sketches, like based on the Metroidvania game I've been making, that I was just already good enough at art, and I decided, I don't know, it's like I kind of had a paradoxical feeling where like I kept saying that I don't need to learn because I'm good because I did like little sketches like once a month, and then I also felt that I wasn't good enough and I'll never be seen as a professional because my art isn't good enough. And then when I was hanging out with friends back in like 2018, uh, all three of us decided to just sketch some stuff, and I had a really fun time. And I was like, for the next few times we hung out, I was like, hey, how about we draw? How about we draw? And we didn't or do anything like that. And I decided that instead of waiting for my friends to have a time to draw with me, I just start drawing myself. And then that eventually went on to I should just keep drawing every day, see how good I get, see how long I'll go before I'll give up. Because at the time I was giving up a lot of shit
Hmm.
that I was trying to do. But it was like a couple months, and I still been drawing every day. And I was like, I'll just keep going and see how far I'll go. And one day I was feeling horny, so I decided to draw fats, and then I drew fats, and I really liked that a lot. And things just kept snowballing until now I am an artist with over 1,000 Twitter followers, and I do commissions to get basically a third of my monthly income.
That's
And I could see this being actual career. It's actually easier to make a living off of being a fetish artist than a game developer, it feels like sometimes.
That's actually a really cool story. For me, it was basically just I don't want to pay for commissions in the future, so I'm gonna learn how to draw.
I
That was
mean,
that was my main
that
motivation.
that's part of it for me.
But that's actually
I was like,
very cool. And it of course depends on your situation and what kind of content you draw if you want to make a living. Like for me, I think it will be easier to get customers because I have such a big spectrum of expansion art I'm into and I'm willing to draw. And of course, I draw furries a lot, and the furry community is gigantic, so I guess I will get a lot of customers there too.
yeah. Actually, one of my friends is a furry, and he does commission art as well, but he hadn't been doing too hot lately.
Why is that?
I'm not really sure, but he has pretty low self-esteem in general.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't really look that much into his stuff because no offense, I'm not like particularly into furry content.
That's
I don't
no
really like pay much attention to stuff that goes on around there.
no offense taken. It's completely fine. That's all preference, just like our kinks
Yeah.
and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And speaking about art, um, where exactly does your art style come from? What inspired it exactly? If you know what inspired it, of course.
Uh, I want to say just I don't know. I always just thought it was just accumulation of what I learned, but one artist that really inspired me early on was Hisashi Kagawa, who happens to be the character designer. It's doing Cure Peach and Cure Pine, as well as Cure Berry, and he worked on Sailor Moon and Revolutionary Girl Utena. Uh, Also, I would say the art from Yoshi's Island, that game inspired me early on as well.
So not even any artists in the fetish community, just your favorite anime artists or anime art styles combined with just your childhood.
Yeah,
Hmm. That's actually very interesting. I wanted to ask something and I forgot it. Do you think that your art style is evolving more, or do you think that you're like stuck in like a limbo?
I think my art is constantly evolving because a lot of the stuff is just like when I want to draw something, I have no preference on what the stylization is. I try to copy a little bit from everything I find.
Yeah, that I expected a long answer. No offense, it's just like I expected a bit more from that text. I was like, is he gonna continue or not? No, but yeah, it's interesting that a fetish artist has most of his inspiration out of the fetish scene. Like for me, that's pretty new because most of the other artist friends I know had their start by finding fetish art, being inspired by the artists they found first, and going on from there.
I don't know, like I don't want to sound like an ass or anything, but I feel like I want I don't know. Whenever I look at fetish art nowadays, especially, I just always have something to nitpick, even my own.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. I think it's just because I look at it so much. But like, see a character's head just doesn't proportionally look right, or like the shading looks a bit pillowy or something. Uh,
So you
it just
mean
depends on the artist.
so you mean like how I sometimes draw my characters like with really huge bodies but a very small head in comparison.
Yeah, I think it just depends on my mood. Because, like I said, sometimes when I've been working a lot and I try to interact with other things, I can get irritable. And yeah, I've been working at that a lot. Usually, I just try to stay quiet if I don't have anything nice to say.
Having an opinion is completely fine as long as the other party can respect it. Not like Twitter.
Yeah,
um, I think those questions we can go over later. Um, yeah, I think we can get to this one that you wanted to talk about. What do we do besides our art, and besides earning money from that art, learning whatever, building our audience? What do you do besides your art?
uh, well, I am making a Metroidvania game. It's not kink related, but it's called Insect Adventure, and it's about a bug named Bugsy who has a hammer, and he runs around the caves killing other bugs with the hammer, trying to look for his friend who's named Mayo.
Is that where your name came from, or do you just like that name?
No, Mayo is a euphemism for cum.
Oh, okay.
Always fun to reveal.
I did not
That came
expect
from high
that.
school. I had an OC who was a nun with huge tits, and her name was Mayo. For that reason, that's a euphemism for cum,
Then I'm gonna go
and
and ask another friend
it
of
just
mine
came from
who
there.
also goes by Mayo. I'm gonna ask him if that's the reason for his name.
Yeah, I kind of want to make it a running theme, and like future games and projects I work on, there'll always be a person named Mayo.
Um, I don't really do much besides my art. Uh, like I of course have my apprenticeship going on, but besides that, I just am like almost every other watcher. I just go around looking at fetish stuff, talking about it. It's mainly is like 70% of my day, just fetish stuff in my head, fetish stuff I browse. And other than that, I just watch animes or YouTube. Not really that many animes, but I'm starting to get into it again. And
Yeah,
I gotta say, if you watch an anime, you just want to draw the character fat. That's something I have like an itch. When I recently watched Kill la Kill with my boyfriend, I was like, man, this character would look good fat. And we both had that thought many, many times.
what character?
Um, the friend from of Ryuko, I she,
Mako?
yes, she is very. She eats a lot with her family, and we've also searched for fetish art after we finished an episode, and it was like, and we found many pictures of Mako very fat, and we were like, yep, that makes sense. It's a
Yeah.
perfect fetish view character.
One character that I really wish I had more fat art from Kill la Kill is Nui Harame. I'm not sure if you're far enough to see her in yet, but if you know what kind of girls I like to draw, you can get a good
Yeah,
picture of what she looks like.
yeah, she's a bitch, but yeah,
Oh,
we
she's epic.
we watched until episode 12. We're gonna continue tomorrow. So yeah, we've met her, and we don't like her at all. But I can see why you wanna draw her.
Yeah. And
But
she is scary, but scary in a sexy way to me.
damn, being into masochism, masochism. How do you say that in English?
You said it right.
Masochism. Now my boyfriend is gonna laugh because he struggles with the word in German and I struggle with it in English. Um, yeah, I guess that was the topic. Uh, or maybe what's your favorite anime? Let me ask that.
Uh, I want to say it's a tie between Fresh Precure and Revolutionary Girl Utena.
What exactly is Pretty Cure about? I never really looked into it when I drew for our trade, so I don't know.
Uh, I basically just say it's like Power Rangers, but really girly themed, and it's an anime instead of live action. That's basically the gist of every episode. The bad guys come in, they turn some kind of object or something into a giant monster with angry eyes. And then the girls, after doing like a regular slice of life thing, they're like, oh shit, we gotta transform. And they turn into magical superhero girls and they kick the monster's ass, and then everything is happy.
So it's slice of life mixed cute cute action.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's gotten a lot tamer, but they're used to the older seasons are definitely a lot more interesting just because they had a. I don't want to really like guess what it was like working there, but Fresh Precure, the one that has Cure Peach and Pine, has some pretty interesting episodes. In that show, there's this one episode where basically they have like this baby space panda thing they have to take care of named Chiffon, and she gets sick. And Inori, who works with her parents as like a vet, spent like all night trying to research how to cure her illness. And then at the end of the episode, when they had to beat up the monster and save the day, Inori gains a power to speak to animals.
Mm.
So she talks to Chiffon and she says that poop can't come out. And the other girls laugh at it. And Inori's like, no, constipation is a serious thing. It can cause this and this and this. And then they're like, well, how are we going to cure constipation? And then Inori's like, don't worry, guys, I got this. And it dramatically shows her like putting on gloves with a serious face, and then it cuts to a bathroom with a flushing noise. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? They showed that in a kid's cartoon.
I mean, constipation is a serious thing. They gotta teach that. They, I don't I don't actually have a comment on that. Damn. uh, yeah, and for me, it's where my waifu is from. It's new game. It's about it's the basic slice of life of cute girls doing cute things, and it's just the gist is basically they are a gaming company and they are developing games, and that's basically it. And it's very cute, and I love it.
Nice. What drew you to Hifumi in particular?
Relatability about being very socially exhausted very quickly. Rather
Mm.
typing instead of talking. Like she says to people, "Yeah, don't talk to me, just message me." And if you message her, she's like very overly cute in text, like I am sometimes, and it was
Oh,
just very relatable.
yeah. Yeah, you definitely have that aspect.
Some people are annoyed by it, but I'm like, I don't care. I want to sound cute.
We all just want to be cute anime girls.
Obese cute anime girls. Speaking of
I don't
us
know.
wanting to be obese, IRL. Do any of people in your surrounding know what you're into, or do you even like fatness, feederism, slop, or any of your kinks in real life?
At work, every now and then I show like if we get a new person at work, I show them uh whatever the newest fat pic that I draw and see what their opinion is, just to like gauge an interest. And sometimes they're like sometimes they're like oh
Oh.
or I don't know, try to concentrate on these classes, sorry. Sometimes I don't know, sometimes they just don't care. They're like, oh, that's art. You draw what you want to draw. And but this one guy is like a 15-year-old guy. It wasn't like too erotic. It was just like what I'm drawing, a fat girl eating. And he was like, dude, you're fucked up or whatever. And it always makes me laugh, actually.
Yeah, I know that feeling. It's the same with me and my music that I like to listen to. Like I just want to show people the music just to hear their reaction, and it cracks me up every time, no matter how their reaction is.
What kind of music?
Uh, Hardcore techno, so very
Oh,
fast, very aggressive noise that just goes doof, 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 non-stop.
yeah. I used to be really into that. I kind of lost interest because I felt like I just listened to everything over and over again.
To be honest,
But
yeah,
yeah,
that's it.
when I was a bit younger, I listened to that stuff a lot too. You're talking about stuff like Round Wave Crusher.
Ground. I never heard that name.
Check him out. He does a lot of anime sampled stuff.
Also, it's a Japanese artist.
He is not Japanese. He's actually from somewhere in South America, I believe.
Oh, I know most hardcore anime samples are basically from Japanese artists, and they do crazy stuff with hardcore, to be honest. But that's not what this podcast is about. It's about fats and art and more kinks and more fats.
And more art.
Yes, and big art and not feeling ashamed. And speaking of the question, do you like fat stuff in real life?
Yeah, definitely. What do you mean fat stuff? Oh, you mean like uh, IRL fatties? Definitely. There's the Actually, I won't get into the real life stuff, but yeah, there are definitely fat girls that I had crushes on. Unfortunately, they do not have award-winning personalities,
Aww.
or at least none that I've found. I don't know. I kind of gave up on just looking for a suitable partner.
Yeah, that's the best thing, to just live your life and the right person will come someday.
Yeah,
That's how it worked for me, and I'm pretty happy with my boyfriend. So I can only say just wait, don't force it. Forcing it just isn't good.
yeah.
Um. Now I would like to go over some of the episode specific topics that you and I decided, mainly you though. And I would firstly start with fictional characters and their ages. A very controversial topic in the community, but I would like to start with that first because when I looked up the reference for your waifu, I saw that she was indeed a minor. But I would like to hear your opinion on the topic.
Uh, well, it's pretty much just incidental. My preference in age is incidental. Uh, Real life underage people are generally not that great in that kind of way. I don't know. I feel like really awkward, but
Yeah, the question was about fictional characters, though.
yeah. Uh, you know, uh, I feel like it's just part of the draw what you want, and the real concern I have is just there's a lot of double standards. There's a lot of people who would decry and accuse people of being pedophiles or whatever, when they also just like and share characters from Pokemon or like Sailor Moon or something that's really popular. It's like you would think those kinds of series would have more scrutiny, but they seem to get a free pass. There's a couple times where I tried to show like Fat Pretty Cure fan art,
Hmm.
and people have accused me of like that kind of stuff, even though they have ages of like Pokemon characters that get a free pass.
Oh yeah, definitely. I saw that a lot of times when I saw those white knights, if I'm gonna call them like that, accusing people. But when I look at their favorites, I see a lot of Pokegirls. So that's like a bit embarrassing to them. I even called someone out privately, of course. I don't want to do that in public anymore because I fucked up like that many times in the past. And I think I it's just not great. It's like cancel culture and all that, and I don't want to be an active part. And I feel a lot better not publicly shouting out all my opinions and stuff or calling someone out. I just go in private, talk about it with someone who also knows, and that's it. So yeah,
Yeah,
I sometimes see those people cry, and then they are just not better. And yeah, definitely, I would also say that um, fictional characters and their associated ages definitely fall under the category of draw what you want if it doesn't hurt anyone. Uh, because I drew your waifu here, and do I go out of my way to go to a minor and fatten them? No. Do I like minors in real life that are fat? Not really. I'm not attracted to them. Uh, so I don't really get what these people try to call out because it's all fiction. It's not real. It doesn't have anything to do with IRL. Of course, some situations I draw, I would like to do IRL. I would like to experience IRL with fatness and stuff because I have found a boyfriend that is also into the same stuff as me. So those things are in reach to experience those fetish scenarios IRL. But in drawings, in fiction, we draw this because it's fiction, because we can express our fetishness or kinkiness in those extreme ways. Like right here, no one would be this immensely obese and still be able to just be healthy and stuff their faces like this. This is nothing that should be promoted IRL. Of course, I like huge sizes IRL, and I would. Uh, wait, your stream ended?
my internet just went out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Wait, it's going back on again.
uh, that is awkward. So yeah, I guess intermission while we wait for Plump Pine to come back. Yep, Bruno. Oof. I was so into this topic right now. I was explaining my heart out about how I feel about this topic, and boom, gone. God damn it. I guess I will just continue drawing for now. If anyone in chat has a question, go ahead and ask. I'm here right now.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi. That was
Welcome back.
pretty that was pretty embarrassing.
Damn. Bruno, for fuck's
Okay.
sake. You know when. Uh, okay, I was so into this topic right now. I'm a bit bummed. um,
And my internet just went out all of a sudden.
I'm guessing
But
that's. I'm guess I'm gonna summarize what I explained and all. Okay, Kyo Subarashi, I will get to your question in a bit. I'm gonna summarize my opinion on that topic again. It's for me, it's fiction. It is not real. If you're gonna draw a minor, uh, a minor celebrity that's in a show or that's a singer, and you draw them fat, then that's of course a serious issue. And did your internet went out again?
no, this time it was my tablet, but I think it's good now.
Okay. If you do that, then of course that's horribly wrong, and you should not do that. But in this grand scheme of fictional characters, it's we draw them because we like the design. We draw them because we like to see the character fat. It's not about being attracted to the age of the character. We just want to see them fat, and it's fiction. It doesn't hurt anyone.
It's the idea of it, really. Like in the case of Pine or Inori or what he's drawing. Uh she starts out in the series having confidence issues, but throughout the course of the story or throughout the course of the show, she gets rid of her fear of ferrets, and she also deconstipates a baby space panda. And eventually, like, she starts out wanting to join the dance group with the other girls, but she's afraid that she can't dance, and then she ends up becoming so confident she actually gets a different character into the dance group much later on. And I really find that admirable in a person. And although the fat thing is mostly just because she wears baggy clothes, including her Precure uniform, and that makes me go, yeah, those are definitely love handles when I see her render.
So yeah, we draw them because we like the character. That's just a simple idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people should not be uh, that aggressive about this topic because they have all their moral standards and all that. They should just accept it's fiction and keep loving fat because that's all we do. We love fat
And slob.
and Slav, yes. So yeah, that was basically the gist of the topic. I went a bit too much into it, to be honest. But it's a topic that's on my mind a lot when I see people freaking out over it, or me getting blocked because I drew a poker girl. um,
uh, speaking of Pokemon, I really like that berry you drew.
Thank you. I didn't
Like,
actually expect that because I thought you only like female vets.
yeah, for the most part, but it doesn't mean I can't enjoy male stuff. I don't know. Uh, I don't know. It's just sometimes I see a guy and I'm like, that's pretty epic.
Epic gamer
Uh,
moment.
there was a time when I had a crush on a guy, but it didn't go through, and yeah, I don't really want to talk about it. It ended up being a pretty dark time in my life.
Okay, yeah. Let's not let's not bring down the mood. I'm sorry if that
Uh,
sounded like I pushed you away. I don't.
no, I liked the berry. It was cute, but I mostly liked it because you took advantage of how he thuds into you.
Yes,
I thought that was funny.
I really wanted to make that into a drawing because I was like, yeah, that's like perfect if someone is like huge and fat.
I mean, I feel like that's something all of us fat drawers, it's not all of us fat drawers like.
Uh,
We just deal with situation. I really want to draw. I'm gonna, well, later this weekend, I'm gonna draw this one character, Jam from Guilty Gear, because, well, first of all, she's a main, but second of all, she runs this Chinese restaurant, and whoever she beats in a round, she makes like one of her victory quotes is that you have to, she's gonna make the loser help her out working at the Chinese restaurant. So I had this idea where Jam would be all fattened up from all the food. The loser, who would be May, would be, and then Jam bullies her into uh, working May even more, and she probably has a pot belly too.
that's a
Uh,
really cute idea.
yeah, yeah. I wasn't really keeping up with the new Guilty Gear, but the very first reveal pic they had that confirmed May and Guilty Gear Strive shows her with a pretty big looking belly. It may just be like the floppiness of her jacket or whatever, but I don't know. It definitely looks like a belly, and it wouldn't be out of place in Guilty Gear with how ridiculous the characters can be.
We try to see fat in everything.
Yeah,
um,
I don't know if it was in the call, but you were guessing that I would be a pretty kinky person on the inside.
yeah, that was outside of the call. Yeah, I you seem like the kind of guy that uh, draws pretty vanilla stuff next to the slob stuff, but in reality, you would be into so much weird stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. It's mostly just because I can't be into stuff like slob all the time. I just always, I don't know, I'm just always changing what my preferences on a day to day or even an hour to hour basis.
1 hour slob, next hour inflation, next hour this, next hour that.
Yeah. Next hour, girls sitting on the toilet.
I really like that drawing, to be honest. That was something I really probably didn't even see outside of like extreme fetish art. It was
Yeah.
actually very cutely drawn. Speaking of drawings that could be a bit more difficult, like drawing toilets, because I don't know, I have struggled drawing toilets. Kyoshi asked, "What was the most difficult piece of art that we have drawn?"
I'd have to think about that. It always seems to keep changing. It feels like every time I get a huge amount of commissions, there's always one that is excessively hard. But the most recent one I could think of right now is this one of the two Ruby characters, because there really isn't that many references of a fat person lying down like that.
But I do gotta say that's probably your best artwork yet, and
I
I think it's
know.
because of the shading that adds so much.
Yeah, there's this one. I actually stole it. I actually stole the shading. I used it as a reference from this one pic an artist called ShySho made for me.
Who's that ShySho guy? He sounds like an ass. I
I don't know. I
guess.
don't really deal with furry artists.
Yeah, they always act so cutesy and ooh. That's so annoying.
Yeah.
For me, I think uh, I wouldn't say the most difficult, but the most tedious one would have been this Hifumi slop pig. I'm gonna send it to you in the M's because then you don't need to watch the stream. Or not need to open the stream. This Hifumi slop pig. Uh, it was fairly easy to get down the pose with such thick legs. But at the end of the day, all that trash and all the littering, it was a bit difficult to make it seem natural, but also very tedious to do it uh, because it's just so much. Uh,
Yeah. I have to admit, like one of my weaknesses with art is that I just can't handle doing a lot of detailed, tedious stuff like that.
yeah, I think I even
Like,
mentioned that with Buttery's stream. Like we are into slop, but and slop is about laziness. Yet slop takes more effort to do.
yeah, I know the sketch, I'm fine. All I gotta do is just draw like little circle shapes, and that can represent food. But when I get onto an actual thing, I gotta like consider the colors and stuff. I don't know. I definitely want, if I don't finish this in the stream, which I likely won't, then I will post a finished version on my Twitter later.
Yeah, and your Twitter handle is in the stream layout, so everyone, please go check them out. They do great art. They, like they said, they draw every day, so please check them out. So,
Yep.
the next topic about our episode is, I think no, we already covered that. Our waifus. Yeah, we already
Yeah.
covered that. Not that directly, but we already did. Um, basic topics. Yeah. What's your own favorite artwork? I think we already saw yours, right? The newest one.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't the newest one, but it was close to newest. If you're talking about that Ruby one with the girls playing with the belly.
Yeah. Um, for me, I actually think it had changed from last time, and I do think the Friday Night Funkin' boyfriend that I drew. It's just something about this drawing that I really, really love how it came out. It's simple, yeah, but I just really, really like it. I used a reference that pretty well, and I was proud of that. The expression I think is perfectly, and I think the belly shape is something that I am very, very proud of, even though it's such a simple belly. So I think the Friday Night Feedin' boyfriend is my most favorite piece from now on. From now.
Yeah.
And the next question, your most popular piece from your numbers on websites.
I honestly don't know. I don't really keep up with that too much, and it's just really hard to track, so I don't really care. Uh, I'm
I
sure like in a month it'll be a different thing anyway, but I remember using this one Twitter app that I can't seem to find anymore, where it's like what is, or it just shows like your most popular tweets, and it ended up being like some kind of clip from an anime that just showed a girl with a chubby belly, and it's like not even like the extra thick that we like. It was just like a regular old MILF. I was like, how the fuck did that get so popular?
because people like generic stuff.
I guess.
Nah, but I do understand why that would get popular. And for me, I just checked on my DeviantArt. My most popular piece would still be the Hifumi X Hilda piece. One that was like very much out of my comfort zone with how I approached it, but I'm still very proud of it. So I'm glad that this is my most popular piece. Of course, it's Hilda. It gets like a free buff on the favorites. Uh,
Like,
it's
actually, since I was looking into slob stuff, I did look at all your art, and you do Hifumi really fucking good, especially as a slob.
she's the perfect slob character. Like, how can I not draw her as a slob?
And the way you draw her, she might not to the creators, but you do her justice really well.
If the creator doesn't want it, then they need to contact me, and I don't think they will ever see it.
Yeah.
Or they have seen it and puked, and I don't care.
You know, since we're on that subject, every now and then I do think about what if I were to show fat art of characters like Cure Peach to the creator, how they would react.
That would actually be really funny. And most of the Pokemon staff, I would love to show them all the fat art of the Pokemon girls and boys, just to see how they would react.
Great Barrier Reef, that patty's boiled, and then they knock your drawing down and hit it with a flamethrower.
Or the creators into it and they create a new story where the character gets fat.
And I think if a character was into it, they would try to be as subtle as possible because they don't want to be seen as like a freak.
That's what I don't like. That most fat people in anime are just generally just big-breasted, or they are made very ugly.
Yeah.
There is like one anime girl that was very popular in an anime recently, and she was pretty big, and it was actually very well done. And she got a lot of love, but barely any fan art, sadly. And I don't remember the anime. Fuck.
Hmm. The one anime I think of uh that does fat justice is Sabagebu Girl Survival Club. Sound like that. And there's an episode where the main character Momoka got fat and she looks really fucking cute.
Oh, is it the one
It's like
where
about
where they
an
sit in that
airsoft
meeting room?
club. Huh?
Is it the one where they sit in the meeting room and then she gets like shot or something? Like the super ridiculous one that has like a lot of clicks on YouTube. That scene.
I'm
That
not sure. It's about like an airsoft club where like the girls pretend that the guns they're using are real, and there's like a lot of blood and stuff in the
Yes,
gunfights.
then it is that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that clip of her is like very popular on YouTube. I saw that. I saw that many times when I was like, yeah, I need some fat stuff. I saw all the pictures. I'm gonna look at anime, even though that's very rare. But I'm happy. Another question. What's your favorite canon chubby anime girl? I think you already explained that.
I want to say Inori, but apparently that's not true. So I'll have to go with Momoka from Sabagebu.
Why is Inori not true?
Uh, I don't know. I actually argued about it with people when I was on Pretty Cure Discords, but like I said, she's always wearing baggy clothes. And it kind of looks like she has love handles in her Pretty Cure uniform. She also doesn't have confidence with dancing, and I think it's more just a headcanon thing in my point at this point. But uh,
It's a great headcanon.
oh, absolutely, that she's chubby. Also, yeah, I had this idea where I would just do like a little weight gain sequence of her because like I had this idea of an AU where Inori was actually interested in gaining weight and decides to do that and actually really enjoys it. And
Bas-
that whole 11-day period when I did that, it's on my DeviantArt. It's called A Weight of a Prayer because Inori means prayer.
bas-
Uh,
Basically every waking
that was a hell
sequence.
of a week because I ended up getting so horny that my hands were shaking.
God damn.
Yeah.
That's really cute, to be honest. I like horny stuff. It's the main reason I draw. I just want people to be horny.
Well,
Based on your comment on my trait, I got you horny, and then I achieved my goal.
yep.
Yep.
You did her justice. I really like that attitude. You did her justice in that art trade we did. I really like that attitude she had and that pout when she thought about needing to lose weight.
I think that's an attitude most characters should learn because we like it.
Yeah, just specifically us. I just like that whole idea of a character wanting to resist the idea of going back to normal.
Speaking of normal, uh, a topic I want to discuss that could be a bit controversial too is fat fetish artists or expansion artists, but in this case mostly fat artists, uh, going more mainstream or like commercial with their art, like doing less actual obese characters and mainly just thick, big boobs, big butt, little belly. Just for, in my opinion, sometimes it does look like they just switched because it's more popular. I don't want to believe that, and I don't want to call anyone out like that. But that's something I feel, and I noticed that a lot with some of the artists. Like Trinity Fate is my biggest example because he's my biggest inspiration. Um, Bamboo Alley, they stopped drawing actual fats and just went to leg and ass fat. Basically, no belly anymore, just asses. Marinade, they used to be a lot into fats, but now it's mainly just thick too. But they do draw fats in commissions and stuff. Cake Cat Boy, but that's just a different story. That's not really about. That's just stopping with like really big kink art, and I don't want to talk about that story. But yeah, going mainstream with your fetish art just so it gets more likes. That's what I wanted to talk about.
I mean, people change. Uh, people change. They just get different ideas. Maybe they just don't like the fat community anymore, or they found something else to do their time with, and I think it's a perfectly valid and fine thing on their part. Have, they've done their contributions for people like us, and I just think it's just a natural cycle of things. Because even if somebody like Trinity leaves, there'll always be a new person like Better with Salt or me. I will come in and take their place and make new stuff.
Yeah, that is very true. In some cases, do wish they would have kinda. Trinity did explain it all, but like in some cases, I wish they would have just like explained that they would stop doing this kind of content, so that people don't have expectations anymore. Because yes, it just seems a bit toxic if I say it like that, that we want this. Uh, it's just I see them stop or not drawing it anymore, and I am just questioning myself. I'm like, do they not like it anymore? What happened? Is there a particular reason? Is it just something temporary? Like with Kurokaze Z, that Japanese artist. Uh, they seem to have stopped fats too. They only draw normal or big tits or thick. Like it has been like a month or 2 months since they've drawn fat.
Hmm.
It's
Uh, I
oh,
mean, loss is part of everybody's life.
I guess I'm going a bit too emotionally into that topic because fat is just something I love so much in life that just makes me happy and all that.
I don't know, like, I don't really want to sound like I'm distancing myself from the fat fetish community and all that, but uh, it's just the fact of life. Like someday maybe you'll find a reason of your own to just stop doing this kind of art and find something else. Um, I know, like, I want to be a game developer, and I'm pretty deep into development of a game right now, but I still do this on the side. But uh, there may be a time when I might stop finding the value in this. Either that, or I don't know. I can say I just continue to use the Plump Pine alias for fat art, and then the Mayo alias that I had on other stuff will probably be more for my SFW stuff. Uh, I don't know. The future is uncertain. You never know what's going to happen. You might find a new artist that you might like even better than Trinity Fate that came out of nowhere. You just never know.
That is very true, and I do have to agree with that. The I only ever thought about the popularity aspect of people changing up their art from what they build their audience off, because I was like, yeah, probably because they get more popular. But I think you're right. It's just that they lost interest, and I guess they don't need to uh, tell us because we see it, and we need to accept that people change.
In the terms of Japanese artists, piracy is also a big concern with their physical dojins and stuff getting scanned and translated. I think on their part, it would be better to just hire a translator to help them out or something. And then there'd be people less likely to pirate it because then they could actually support it because they have that content in their language. I mean, I don't really know how much it would cost on their part. Could also be a pride thing.
I don't. I don't actually think that they did dojins. I think they just did commissions and stuff.
Yeah. Uh,
But I do know what you
I
mean.
wasn't saying like Pro Kaze S specifically.
Hmm.
I don't exactly remember what artists. I think Tassel was one of them, but there were, or maybe it was Kato Hayabusa. I don't remember. There was one artist that found out that people on BBW Chan were taking scans of their dojins and translating them into English, and it pissed them the fuck off to the point where they don't want to make any more fat art.
Oh, understandable though. Same with when I go onto eHentai to find some stuff. Like it's great that I see all those comics, but I most of them are probably just bought once and uploaded there, or it's Patreon stuff that they paid for and just share with everyone, which is just really scummy.
Yeah, uh, the scene is evolving, I guess.
Let's go into something a bit more happy now. Your piece. How far are you? What have you drawn so far?
Uh, I think I'm pretty satisfied with the sketch. I'm like pretty well into inking it.
I really love the sagginess you draw. To be honest, that's something you are really good at, in my opinion.
Thanks. Fat people are pretty saggy.
Yeah, and I do actually like sagginess, but I struggle with it a lot sometimes, and I just go back to the basic round shapes because they look cute.
I mean, it's always good to start out with basic round shapes when you're doing the sketch. It's like sketching in general, just the more basic the shape, the better.
Hmm. And I think the last question I could ask, um, what is some other content you would like to see from the fetish community or expansion community in general, other than art?
I like to see more kind of like interactive visual novel type games.
Like the Doki Doki mod?
Not really like that, but there's this one kind of text-based simulation game. It was like called fuck
It was called? Fuck.
expanding your horizons or something like that. Whereas like you knew this morbidly obese guy who died. It was like your cousin, and then on your 30th birthday, you blew out the candles for a wish or something, and then it's like every day after that, uh, you just start gaining loads of weight. It's like every day you gain like a pound or two, and it describes how you're doing it, and you can make choices about how gluttonous you are. And you start at like 260 pounds, and then there's like milestones for like doing shit like accidentally breaking your computer chair because you're getting fat, and your descriptions of doing stuff like when you go to the movies a certain day change when you get fatter. Like at first you just enjoy it like a normal person, then like it says that you bought like two whole huge things of popcorn, you eat them before you sit down, and then you complain that one seat isn't wide enough for your fat ass and stuff like that. I'd love to see another kind of thing like that where like you just gain weight and there's a lot of descriptions of how you live your life with weight.
Was it a visual novel or text based?
Is like entirely text based. I could send you a link. I could probably share it on Twitter as well, but I really love that. Although the to reach the ending, you have to reach 3,000 pounds, which is like way beyond my limit for how fat I like somebody.
Oh. Okay, but everyone has their limit, of course.
Yeah,
For me, in fiction, there is no limit. Because it's fiction, I can go however big I want.
yeah, it's like a second part of that game when you become immobile and you have to live in your uncle's basement. You basically just fill out the entire basement with your size.
That's very cute.
Yeah, it's all in first person as well. I think that's what really gets me. I guess to add to that, I would love to see more first person weight gain stuff.
I do believe that text-based stuff has less appeal to most part of the fat community because we are just so used to having all that visual content. So I do think
Yeah,
that visual novels will have a lot more of an impact.
you're basically saying I'm part of the problem.
What? No?
Well, you said it was visual content, and here I am.
Nah, I think like this the stuff like the Doki Doki thing, just a big collab of people going together and doing those interactive things that you feel
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah.
and you feel like you make someone fatter, even if it's just still pictures with story. Because I think just stories they are popular, but they aren't popular enough so that only text-based stuff has a lot of potential in this community. I feel like, if that made
Hmm.
sense.
Yeah, I don't know. You should send me a link of that. Uh, if it's something different from what I'm thinking, because I'm thinking about this Doki Doki Literature Club thing, where it just like took the script but changed a few words to describe what's her name, the pink one,
It's a lot more than just a
Pink
script
Chatter,
change.
huh?
It's a lot more than just a script change. It's like an entire different story just for fatness.
Okay, yeah, you definitely need to show me that after we're done.
If you want, I can send you the gameplay in quotation marks of a friend if you don't want to play it yourself.
It's all do whatever you like.
I will send you both. And now I'm out of topics.
Nice.
Very nice.
Uh, I guess I'll like peek at what yours looks like.
Oh, yeah, I
Oh,
forgot.
I see.
I forgot you don't have the stream
I
open
need
up.
to get the link for it, don't I?
I'm gonna send you a screenshot.
There you go. Ah, shit. That's great.
I think I will leave it flat colored because shading would probably take a long time. Not that long, but I don't want to spend that much time on shading right now. I hope that's understandable. Unless you want to shade too.
I'll shade it off the stream. I guess I'll just finish. I'll finish the inking. You wanna take a look at what I got?
I can see it in OBS.
Oh,
You share your screen, remember?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think next time I will share my screen in Discord too, so that you can see it live as well.
Uh, I don't know. I've been focusing so much on just the picture I'm drawing right now. I still would need to like take the time to look away.
Chat, do you have any questions you would like us to answer, or any topics you would like us to talk about? I'm gonna look at the questions and topics again. Art programs. We didn't talk about art programs. What art program do you use? Have you used different ones in the past? And what can you recommend to someone that would like to start with digital art?
Um, the program I'm using is called Medibang. It's a free program. It could be used on both a tablet and a PC. I'm using a PC right now, and uh, I don't know. It just has like the best interface. A confession to make. I fucking hate CSP. I
Clips.uk.
actually went through a whole lot of art programs, and CSP is honestly like one of the most uncomfortable I've ever used.
You're making a lot of clips that you paid people mad.
Good.
Oh goddamn, savage.
uh, my best advice for starting out is to try a whole bunch of them for yourself and see for yourself what you like. Don't care what uh, other people think in that regard because I don't care about what other people think in that regard because I lost my train of thought again.
Maybe because
What
they're
may feel good for a different person may not feel good for you. That's what I was thinking. That's kind of like I seen. I think part of what bothers me about CSP is that so many people use it and recommend it, and like I said, it just doesn't feel right to me. And I had to do a lot of research on my own to find a program that's not CSP to find something that I actually like.
I am actually lucky that I tried out first the first time, and I am instantly happy with it. Like I would actually recommend it because it's like in Medibang, it's very simple, but also you get a lot of customization that you wouldn't really, or you would get anywhere else, but customization that you get out of the box without needing to read thousands of tutorials. That's what I feel like with many art programs, that you first need to watch a tutorial over tutorial just to understand the basic nature of the program, which is something I you really shouldn't need to do.
And I had a bunch of ideas for what kind of hotkeys I would need, like how easily I could do undo and changing brushes, rotating and flipping the canvas. And on some programs, it was really easy, intuitive, and others it's just not so much. Any other questions?
Not so, not no questions from chat.
That's
Um,
probably because they all left because they all use CSP.
yes. uh, okay, another topic that it's more one-sided again because I explained most of it last time with Battery as well. Um, OC versus fan art. What's your stance on the topic? Like, what do you prefer? What do you think is better? If you think something is better, do you think OC art is not represented enough? Do you think fan art is too easy to get popular? Anything about the topic?
Uh, well, I think one thing you should understand is that every character is somebody's original character. Uh, Michelle is ShySho's original character. Cure Peach is Hisashi Kagawa's original character. And really, when you think about it like that, preferences is really only just like your preference and what you think a character or how good a character is by their own design. One thing that does drive me nuts is when people like want to sell the rights of their character.
Do you have an example of that? I don't think I know anything.
Just like not anything I remember recently, but maybe it was just the people I was with because my time on the internet, I met a lot of ridiculous people. And like I said before, including one that got me interested in diapers. So yeah. I always feel like I have a lot of hot takes in me,
Same, same.
but I never try to mean any harm.
I remember that I used to be really, really opinionated. I would, as soon as I saw something or had an opinion, I was like, "Yep, I need to say that now on Twitter." I need to say that. I need to say what I think, what I am. This person is bad. I'm gonna tell everyone this person is bad. And I regret being like that because if I look back, that is just so toxic and horrible to be like that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like just learning how to communicate on the internet is a skill in itself because there's always like those people who are on the internet for the first time. They just have their own kind of way of overly polite speaking and stuff. And then as they go on, they learn from different stuff. Uh, People who spend a lot of time on 4chan, you could tell how they're like if you've been on 4chan before.
I
I
haven't,
used to.
but I know what you mean. That you can tell when someone is from 4chan because of the way they speak about their opinions and the way they don't really care when you tell them that they are wrong or something.
Or how they use the word fag like an honorific.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. I used to frequent 4chan a lot, and I think uh, not visiting that any not visiting that place anymore made me a better person.
Yeah, and me being cancelled, I think 2 times in the past made me realize that I need to restart a bit and think about how I am online. I left like I think 2019 October. I left with Shoku and stuff, and I came back later, and all I wanted to do was just post art and be done. But then I wanted to have that connection with with my audience and stuff. So then I decided to just talk a bit more, but less opinionated. Just be me. Just be open to what my thoughts are, how I am, how kinky I am, whatever. But not really
Yeah,
being like, "Hey, I'm Show. I hate this person." Done. That's just no. I hate a lot of people online, especially some other artists, of course, because they did some stupid stuff, or I did some stupid stuff, and they reacted stupid. Whatever, that's drama. I would love, I would probably love to try and cancel them, but I'm not
yeah,
gonna do it because that's just gonna create more and more drama and more canceling, and that's just stupid to be like that. And anyone who acts like that, in my opinion, is a child who needs to learn, like me, like I did.
yeah, yeah. I feel like being negative, just spreading negativity is like one of the worst things you can do. The internet is what you make of it, really. Uh, I don't know, I had a personality pretty similar to that, what you were saying, and I'm pretty sure I would have never been friends with you or anything like that if if we both still had that mentality. I think being positive only leads to more positivity, even if there's a few roadblocks on the way, and negative only leads to more negativity, even if it makes some things easier for a little bit.
That is true. I I couldn't really explain that better. Especially in today's internet where everyone gets offended about everything. It's just the best to just
Yeah,
respect. What you can talk shit about them with your private friends all you want. If you want to let it out, go privately. Yeah, and that's all I can say to be honest. It's just why do all this shit when you can just be nice? It's not that hard.
I'm about getting close to finishing the inking of this art.
I would say I'm pretty much done with this flat coloring with highlights. I sent it to you. It's a bit more simplified or stylistic than what I usually did in the past, but I really like how it came out. And of course, I was able to hide a lot of detail in the legs and stuff with the table. That's always nice to do.
Could you send me black and white line art of that?
I sent you the finished piece.
Uh, okay.
Speaking of the positivity thing, uh, it's so much easier to get even better at art, to be honest, if you just be positive. Because I had struggles with line art. I wasn't happy with my line art. Yes, it looked clean. Yes, it looked like I knew what I was doing, but I just didn't felt like it was what it was able to be. So I went to Royal Opie, an artist I admire a lot, who uses thicker line art like I used to in the past. Not now, in the past. Now I use thick line art again, and I went to them and asked them for help. I was trying to be nice, and it worked out. I got a lot of help from them. They showed me some of their tips, and that's just something I really like about art communities, that we are able to help each other if we are just nice.
Yeah, you definitely helped me out a couple times as well.
And I'm really glad that I am able to do that, to just uh, uh, transfer my knowledge to the next one. You can do that to the next one. And so we have an endless cycle of new artists, some leaving, some coming. And I don't think that
Yeah,
this community will ever really die of lack of content. I think we will forever have our fetish content.
yeah. There'll always be like I said, it's a cycle. Older artists find new interests or leave for their own reasons, and then new artists take their place.
Exactly. And of course, uh, in some cases, we can even make this art that we love our living, and that's something that I really appreciate about art communities as well. There are so many people that are willing to pay artists for their hard work, even if it's horny fuel, and I just think that's amazing.
Let's see.
And your line art looks really, really adorable. That burger, that burger looks really amazing.
Thanks. I feel like uh I feel like I should find a way to make the donut messier. I'm just gonna probably just smear chocolate all over her face and breast.
There is I don't know how it's called in English, but there's a treat in Germany that's just like a dough ball filled with anything, like strawberry stuff. I don't know the English word. Marmalade? Is that the English word? Do you say? No, I don't think.
I think
Uh,
it's an eclair,
Eclair.
but I
Yeah,
have always known it by its Polish name, Lapuchki.
yeah, and in German, it depends on the region where you're coming from, but here it's called a Berliner, and you can have it filled with Nutella. Like you just bite in it and just chocolate drips out. And I think with that way you can make it like really messy.
You're making me hungry.
I am hungry. I only drank an energy drink, and I need snacks, but I don't wanna interrupt the stream with noises. Do you have any final words you would like to say?
Word.
Word, pronoun, adjective.
I guess shout outs to this artist called Jay of the Damned who drew my profile pic. Uh, he really got the essence of Pure Pine picking her nose. And I feel like just that kind of uncaring attitude of a magical girl picking her nose and being obese is just, it totally captures the kind of persona I want to have with my fat fetish art.
Aww. To be honest, yeah, that adds a lot to the carelessness to someone and how they let themselves go. It's just what is girly? What is being polite? Not polite. What is being clean? Just be an obese pig. No man, don't worry about manners.
Yeah. Just pig out and grab that second donut off the plate. Let your gut hang out.
Free the gut. Hashtag free the gut.
There are people who like that.
I wish more people or more bigger people would be confident enough in real life to just show their body, because in the summer a lot of thinner people do that too. They wear bikinis, so why shouldn't thick people be able to do that too? By the way, can I give you a tip on fat? Not fat, sweat.
Sure.
Um, okay, I'm gonna share my screen with you so you can see it live. I hope that doesn't interrupt with OBS. Do you see it?
Yeah.
It's a bit laggy for me now, but that doesn't matter. Uh, with sweat lines, what I managed to do to make sweat look a lot better is to look at the direction that it would be flowing. Like the belly is in a shape like this and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It would be always going down in that path, and doing big droopy drops on a bigger area just makes it look like they are so much more stickier and sweatier. Like,
Oh, yeah, you mean like the W-shaped droops?
that too,
Yeah.
just
Just like the shape with it, not make it like a generic raindrop, you're basically saying, right?
and different kinds of sizes too. And the thing that is really amazing here when you look at the leg, I have double line art on. Wait a second. This not there here. The leg. Uh, Doing something like this, it adds so much in my opinion. When you in the lowest point, you add like a big droop, and it just feels like it's flowing off the side of the character too, and not just the front. You know?
Yeah. Thank you, kind sir, for your sweaty advice.
No problem, fellow sweat admirer. All right. Um, I don't wanna force it too long. We don't have any topics anymore, and I think it was a fun episode with you. I really
Thank
liked your
you.
opinions on all the topics, and
That sounds like a hot take, too.
damn, hot takes everywhere. And viewers, you will see the final picture later on Plump Pine's Twitter. Maybe DeviantArt, I don't know.
Definitely DeviantArt.
All right, and I hope everyone had a fun time watching. And I will see you guys in the next episode of the ShyCast with another artist friend, or maybe an artist that just wants to be in here too. Maybe. I don't know yet. And I don't know when the next episode is. But thank you all for watching. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye.